Hey, what's up, guys? Pcgeekish here, and today is not going to be a normal like Kerbal Space Program video, but it's going to be something alright. So today we're just going to compare game logic with real life logic, and we're going to have some future like requests that might be even in the game. And yeah, I might send this to Squad, or maybe if Squad's watching this, you can take my words if you want to. But I'm not a professional or physicist, but I'll try my best to, my best of my knowledge to explain physics. If I can. I'm a freaking seventh grader. What do I know about physics? I know quite a few about physics, basic physics, and some logic, obviously, like aerodynamic, or some orbital mechanics, how things work. I actually basically know how to calculate delta V, but it's quite hard. And basically, that's it. Yeah, and also I'm gonna have a future request about docking mechanism. There are some flaws with it, and I'd like to make a little future request. I'm not trying to send any hate or anything. I'm just saying, okay, well, could we improve this at least? Alright, I'm fine if you guys, dislike me or anything. I'm fine with that, Or if Squad doesn't really want to like add this docking mechanism, I'm fine with it. I'm just making a little request. So in this current footage, you guys are about to see is me doing my lunar module. No, not lunar module. Let's just call it LEM training for short, because we're gonna end up being landing in some place like other planets. I should say this. I'm not gonna spoil it where, but it could be any planet really. And so I'm gonna do my LEM training. No, I'm not gonna use that LEM. Screw that LEM. Let's use the big one or the small one. Oh well, let's do let's do the small one. Right. So basically, yeah. Back into topic. I was about to say that the physics. Let's start with physics here. Let's start with the topic of gliding. Gliding. I know it's not utterly impossible to glide in this game, but there are a few things that you need to know a few things that you might need to know the reason that why, you can't glide much in this game. The only way you can glide is probably make an infinite glider, and that's pretty much the only way you can glide. Like, glide for a long duration before crashing, you see, or before shorting out, should I say. If you guys watched, like, my other Kerbal Space Program video, like the first one, like, not the first one, but, like the third one, should I say. Yeah, the third one. Okay, so if you guys watch the third one, I think it's the third or the fourth, my Kerbal Space Program Let's Play, you saw me trying to glide a Raven Sphere a couple of meters away, like up a couple of 100 meters away, and I can't even glide, like, 50 meters, I can't even glide that far. And so, I know, I was pummeling down, and yeah, physics like that didn't work, so that's the only thing, okay, because they have mass, keep in mind, but at least there's some way to glide. I mean, like, I know in real life you could glide a freaking jet for like 1,000, 2,000 feet. The shuttle can glide, and it's quite heavy. And it's, a couple hundred, I guess it's a couple hundred tons. But anyways, without further ado, let's start talking while building this ship to train. Okay, so let's try to add this thing. So basically the first thing I want to talk about is that gliding, I know I wouldn't consider it impossible, but it's, difficult. Unless you have an infinite glider, then it's not difficult. But other than that, the game's fine, okay? I'm not trying to say any bad things about it, but majority of the part of this game is quite good. Majority of it. Some of it is kind of flawed, which I'm fine with still. But think about it. I know that you guys are doing your hardest to fix this game up and do your best, and it's under development, and I get that. I understand. I truly understand. But, let's try to make some quick improvements towards it so no one really babbles about it that much. And the thing is that, the physics here. Okay, so I think I'm done with physics. Gliding is the only thing, and there are some other things that I can't really explain. It's kind of dubious. So yeah, the physics are slightly dubious, but other than that, I'm fine. Now let's skip with the docking mechanism. Yes, docking mechanism is alright. It's about, I'd consider it 3 out of 5 stars. 3 out of 5 stars. It has some good things and some drawbacks at the same time, and I'll tell you that drawback. So first things first. We all know that everything has its own drawback, and especially the topic that I'm about to bring up. Basically, that every time when you try to, how should I say this, dock, yes, and there are like two solar panels in between, and all of a sudden, it could throw you off course, because of the magnetism part that's dragging your ship and the ship you're about to dock with. And sometime when you dock, it bounces. Literally, it doesn't like it's not like back in the Apollo days. It just snaps together, or any days like these. It just bounces, and that's the thing that I want to ask. Okay, well, why is it bouncing? Why is it bouncing? Is it supposed to be thrusting in? And then when it's both connected, it's still not docked. It's still like a little bit wobbly and all that. And then when it's stopped, it's still not docked. It takes about like a couple of seconds, then it docks. Okay, I'm fine. Okay, but other than that, I'm trying to say that, squad, can we just take that risk factor away? Are there any chances how we can take that risk factor away, and instead we could replace it? Not replace, but we can add something to it, such as like docking mechanism. Like, I'm not sure you guys are like the guys who, like me, like space geeks who keeps in touch with every single live shows that NASA have. Back in the 60s, they have this documentary or something like that, or Werner von Braun, explaining how the mission would go. And you guys will notice that, okay, the docking mechanism, there are two different kinds. There are two different kind of docking ports. One's for the LEM, which is like kind of inward. It's kind of like a cone that's like inwards inside the ship, inside the LEM. And there's one that's sticking out, the opposite, which is like the actual docking port. But no matter which one, you're still gonna dock, because they're both working at the same mechanics, that it'll just snap like a Lego. And I'm talking about no magnetism here. I'm talking about like pure pilot skill. And I'm saying this because, okay, so for the people, beginners, probably they should use the magnetism one, which is if you guys haven't noticed, the one that we have right now. Let me just get that docking port, or any of these shielded ones. Take a look at these, and the opening ones, these kind of look like the ones from the ISS. So if you guys can look closely here, they're not exactly that kind of looking like ISS, but it kind of. And you guys don't know that there's this kind of hatch thing, and that transferred the crew. But in this game, I'm fine if I going EVA. I mean, like, it just makes the game more interesting if you go EVA. But you could take that risk factor away by simply just, you could just right click here and alt click this, and then you can transfer the crew there and there with the transfer line, and that's including with the docking port. But that's modern day docking port. Back in the day, there were two different lines. One's the docking mechanism, and one's the transfer line. And that's the same way of saying, okay, let's dock with this and let's go EVA. That's back then, but we didn't actually go to EVA. Anyways, okay, so let's add solar panels to this thing for safety's sake. Alright, so I think we're done here. Yeah, we just gotta put infinite fuel. Please don't tell me that this thing... No, it's not that. Not that. Come on, don't be like that. Okay, so... yeah, pretty much that's it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I got to talk about for this. Okay, so... anyways, back to physics. Wait, where docking mechanism? I mean, I think it'll be better for those pros who are having extremely fragile ships, or even ships that you just want to make sure that you could take all that risk away. Fuck's sake. Pretty much, I guess that's the reason why I'm talking about here, because I really want that docking mechanism in here that looks like back in the day. And yeah, pretty much that's all about the docking ports. Anything else? Yeah, orbital mechanics. Yes, let's talk about the orbital mechanics here. I wouldn't consider it as dubious as the physics, but part of it is kind of flawed, but I'm kind of fine with it, like I said in the beginning. But I really want to explain to make some future requests about it. Let's kind of fix the inclination part again, because if you guys have been playing the tutorials in the earlier versions, like 0.13 or 14, 15, they made it so that, we can't really, when you try to tilt your orbit, or should I say inclinate your orbit, the ship doesn't like the altitude don't change, and that's perfect. I'm pretty sure that's obeying the exact laws of physics, but I think Squad changed it, and somehow it just doesn't seem that right anymore to me. I'm not trying to give any hate or anything, just making some requests. But other than that, it's fine, it's cool, but the only reason is if you guys try to go up there in space and then you're gonna try to tilt your orbit to a 90 degree or 45 degrees, you guys are gonna notice significant changes in your altitude because your periaphysis and apophysis is kind of changing. And in the earlier version, that never happened. It barely changes about a couple hundred meters, that's it. But this one's, I'm talking about hundreds of kilometers, thousands of kilometers, and it makes things worse. And, it just doesn't fit to the situation, you see? Oh, crap, not the solar panels. Basically, yeah. So, yeah, that's all I gotta say about the orbital mechanics. That is, the inclination part's kind of making our life kind of hard here. But other than that, I'm trying to say is that not as dubious. I mean, like, I get it, the Mooner journey, if you guys think about it, that's not the exact right orbital mechanics that it's following, I suppose. It's just, making up its own mind, and I'm cool with that. It's cool. It makes the game a little bit more interesting, and it makes your life more easier when you try to go to the moon or anything, so it really makes it fun for the player, not too hard, not too skillful, and I'm fine with that. Other than that, though, yeah, pretty much I guess that's all I have to talk about the orbital mechanics physics, and there's really not much. The delta V, everything's fine. The parts, though, I just want the docking mechanism. I'm not saying that we can replace the docking mechanism that's magnetic. I just wanted to like have some additional docking mechanism that's like for the advanced players that totally relies on players' skills. It doesn't rely anything on the like magnetic system or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't rely on that. It relies mostly on its player, should I say, the player and the Kerbal himself. So yeah, you guys know that I'm kind of having a little bit of a rough landing here on my LEM training. Let's try to turn... Oh no, it's Jebediah though. Unbreakable joints don't... Oh wait, no, unbreakable joints shows us if we're actually landing too hard or not, so I guess that's part of the thing that we should be taking care of. Anyways, so basically... Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all I have to talk about for now, because I don't have any other problems with KSP. Just that I really love KSP. In fact, that's like the second, like the most game that I play now, because other than Orbiter, it's kind of complex and it takes a huge, like, significant amount of time just to go to the moon. And I guess like this is like, oh, this is even more fun because it makes rocket science more fun. Not only that, but it also like makes life for you easier, so you don't get rage that much, because you have no idea how much I fail at going to Mars or any other planets, but I do make it sometimes. But anyhow, yeah, I guess that's all I gotta talk about. And besides the dubious physics, docking mechanism, the flawed inclination of orbital mechanics. Oh yes, the orbital mechanics thing. If you guys are like advanced as physics and not like 7th grader like me, because I don't really read much physics at all. I don't really read physics that much. But I'm just saying that perhaps it'll help. It'll help me. It'll help, educate me a little bit about physics. Like, so if you guys know more about physics on how, if it's really real, like that your altitude changes significantly while changing your inclination, then tell me, because I'd like to know. It's not too late to learn. I mean, I'm a little bit early, actually. But, other than that, it's been here, Pcgeekish here, and it's been fun talking a little bit. I'm sorry if I stutter a little bit. I'm not that confident. I'm sorry. It's not my fault. The training... LEM training area for training soft touch landings. Alright, so yeah, before I end this video though, since it's been fun talking with you guys about physics, let's try to get back on the ship. Okay, there we go. And let's land on top of the VAB, and let's then leave it there. Alright, so let's try to land on top of the VAB though, without having any accidents. The controls are inverted some reason. I don't know why. It's kind of messy. I'm not used to inverted controls. I'm not used to getting inverted controls like this. It's kind of weird though. Okay, so first let's kind of slow down a little bit. Alright, so let's slow down. Oh wait, never mind, it's not inverted anymore. If I face this way, of course. Okay, so obviously just gonna slow backwards a little bit. Trying to keep that eye on the nav ball. And at my visuals at the same time. Yeah, this is kind of difficult. Never mind. I'm a pro aviator. Like, what am I talking about? This is easy. I just gotta get the right view and not inverted freaking controls, and I'm fine. Touchdown. A little bit off, but let's correct this a little bit. So, yeah. It's been Pcgeekish here, signing off. Boy, that was a hard challenge. Anyways, yeah. Oh, by the way, before I end this, comment on what you thought. Give me some knowledge about physics and educate me a little bit here, because I'm completely clueless. I'm just a clueless second grader who just starting to learn about how to calculate delta V and all that stuff, and I'm glad to learn, you know. Proud to be a nerd. I'm pretty sure most of you out there would like to be, or proud to be, actually. Sorry. So yeah, it's been Pcgeekish. Comment what you thought. Rate, like, subscribe. Actually, they're liking me. I think it's both the same. Like and subscribe. It's you know, it takes less than a split of a second just to click that like button. That's it. And yeah, it means a lot to me, actually. And subscribe if you'd like to. That's an option. And peace out.